So let's get started. We've got a lot to talk about. So there are a couple things that are new here in my indoor growing space. I made some changes. I got this hydroponic system for Christmas, and I've already started growing some kitchen herbs in there. I will continue to use this throughout the season for lettuces, but I've seen other gardeners successfully transplant seedlings outdoors from the hydroponics, so I'm going to try that. Another new addition is a 2-shelf tabletop grow station. It is from the Gardener's Supply Company. I don't have it turned on right now, but I hope it'll be proper lighting. If not, I can always add better. It just fits in really neat in this space right here. Another purchase that I made from the Garden Supply Company I'm really excited about, and that is this seed starting kit. And as you can see, I've got 12 cells here, and they're good size. I'm not one that's really big on up potting, so I'm hoping that these will work out really well for me. I mean, the downside is that you do have to use more soil and more seed potting mix. However, there shouldn't be so much fuss in between until I can get them out for transplant. This also is self-watering, so there's a little felt pad here, and I've got to read the instructions and really figure this thing out, but it's supposed to be pretty no fuss. Plants will be ready to go when they're ready to go. We still have some chocolate mint leaves that we dehydrated and put in the tea bags, and I'm about to have a little bit of that and go on out in the yard and get some work done. So I bought myself a Christmas gift. Look at that. I see a lot of the gardeners on YouTube have this beautiful harvesting basket. I didn't realize it was so big. But I'm glad I got it because I'm expecting huge harvests in 2025. So this will be just right. So this is the new garden design with room for the metal beds, green stalks, in-ground planting, trellises, and grow bags. I'm very proud of it. But you know what? It's only a good start because I know when I get out there, ideas will change. I'm out here early on New Year's Eve, the morning of, very early. Everything's pretty much cleared out, but it's go time. This is the sunny side of the garden. So it's important for me to get as much as I can over here. We've got trees that are all bare right now. But when those leaves come in, they take away a lot of the sunshine from my backyard. I purchased these raised garden beds, and hey, they're not level, but we're here. This is where we are, y'all. You can even see down here we got some issues with them not being level. But you know what? I'm gonna make it work. So the first planting of the spring will go into these 2 beds and this one over here. Well, here goes, y'all. Let's get to clearing. Just gonna pull up the whole plant. These plants really went through a lot too, because we've been freezing off and on for sometimes days, especially at night. But they bounced back every time and got stronger. So I appreciate you little plants. As far as these beds go, all cleaned out. But this gonna be some good eating, y'all. About to go in the house and prepare our soul food dinner for New Year's Eve. Happy New Year's, y'all. This is gonna take me some time. That's the thing about harvesting. I love the harvest, but then you gotta take it inside and process it. Whew. We did have some baby cauliflower growing here, so we're not gonna bother those. I emptied all of those cloth containers out and we filled this bed. So it's got some cardboard in there, leaves, and all the old container dirt. I'll top this with some good compost, and we're gonna cover it up. So this will be ready for spring. So I tell you, one thing a gardener goes through a lot are hoses. Something froze and cracked on this water hose head here. So I'm gonna miss it. It's gone now. I have to deal with this until I can get it fixed. And we're gonna come back out here and give these babies some fertilizer. Cauliflower growing in there. And this is a nice little bunch of carrots growing here. Can't wait to get those harvested. So these are some onions that I had planted about 4 weeks ago. So we'll see how it does. I'm probably going to have to follow up with more onions as we get closer to the spring. But this is an experiment for me. I don't plan to be out here very much in the next couple of months. I'm going to start my indoor seeds. And I'll actually be concentrating on my exercise and my weight and my diet for the next couple of months. January, February. So maybe I'll share some of that with you. So while I'm out here, and it is a nice day, I'm going to go ahead and just cut back. Get my clippers. I don't have the right clippers. I like to use these scissors and then start over. Okay, let's start over. But I've got these knockout roses out here. They've been in this garden even before there was a vegetable garden. I try to keep them cut back, but still able to add beauty to the garden. This is the bounty for our New Year's soul food dinner. This is the greens. So I got them all cleaned up and they're in the pot. Wow, all those greens, look at this. Cooked down to not much, right? We'll see what the finished product is like. All right, there you go, guys. Good old greens out the garden. Tried not to cook them down too much. I don't like them mushy. So we'll see. I think they're good. At least they're fresh. To go along with this cornbread. So let's get busy with indoor seed starting. I'm a seed junkie just like everybody else. So these are the seed packs that I'm going to start with to accomplish my goal for my early spring planting and my current seed starting. Some of these seeds I've had for a couple of years, so I'm just going to go ahead and try to use them, give them a whirl. And I've recorded on my garden planner here, as you can see, where those new transplants will go. And that'll be in late February. Okay, so here we go. One of the hardest things sometimes is to get the lighting right, especially indoors, so that this all makes sense to you when you see it. All right, this is a new thing that I'm doing, these gloves here, just so that I can feel things and move my fingers. I see some of the other gardeners wearing these, and I think I'm going to wear these out in the yard too. One of the first things I wanted to get started with is onions. And so I live in an intermediate zone 7A, but I can also plant short day onions. And so I have these Texas Early Grano. I have some onion short day red burgundy. And I have this here called an onion short day Texas 1015Y. So I'm not sure what that is, but we're going to plant it. And this is actually some organic potting soil, and I did add some seed starting mix to it. And the reason why I made this mix, and hopefully it works, is because I will be doing some planting in these deep cell trays, and I don't plan to up-pot. So I want to make sure that they're able to get some nutrients to grow big and strong so that we can transplant them out in the yard. What I did do is I took this mix and I put boiling water in it and mixed it all up, and it's been sitting now for several hours. So it's got a nice crumbly consistency to it, so it's not too dry, it's not too wet. All right, so I'm going to start out by actually what I need to do first. See, I need to put some holes in the bottom of this. Be right back. Okay, so let's start back where we left off at. First of all, I got some paper to put down so I won't be so messy. Oh, that was important. I thought I could use a glue gun, but what I didn't show you guys is it just didn't get hot enough to go through here. So then I went and got my little knife here. We'll just make a few holes in the bottom. I think that's enough. I think I have about maybe 6 in there. A couple of them are slits. So I'm just going to fill this with this beautiful seed starting mix. And again, this is for our onions, and we've got 3 different kinds. And we're just going to get them started. We're not going to be able to plant these out for a while, but they're going to take some time to grow, and I understand I can kind of trim them back a little bit if they start getting too big. And this is exciting. Last year I said I don't want to do indoor seed starting anymore, but here I am doing it again. I do plan on doing some winter sowing. I wasn't real successful with that last year, but this year I'm trying to take more care and to be more intentional about what I do. So this is about 1.5 inches deep. So this is a good tray for these onions. Actually, I don't need to use this to plant these, right? I'm just going to kind of broadcast them a little bit. So, all right. So that is it. I'm going to go ahead and put some labels on the front of these. Sometimes I impress myself. Okay, here we go again, y'all. So let me just say, when you sit down to do this work, make sure you're prepared, because I obviously wasn't. And when you have to keep getting up to go get things, you forget things. It just makes the whole situation stressful. So let's take a look at the finished onion project. Those 3 different types of onions all set up for growth. I do still have to find a better bottom to put on so I can bottom feed. But I sprayed it, I put vermiculite on it, and we'll just see what happens. Brr. It was cold out there, but I was glad I got it done because it snowed the very next day. All right, so guess what? This is winter sowing. Just a little bit, just got started, but it was really cold outside, y'all. So I brought this in the house and did it in this basket. And actually, I'm going to leave it in this basket and put it outside. But I found the water bottles to work best for me, easier to cut, you know, and these milk jugs, the half-gallon ones, are easy to use, easy to cut, easy to manipulate. So that's what I'm going to stick with. It's not real nice and neat, and I didn't bother to show all of you how to do this because there's so many other channels out there that are reviewing this and will show you how to do it. But what we have here, we've got some dill, we've got, what else? peas, sugar snap peas, sweet peas, the blue ones. We've got dandelion and comfrey, thyme and oregano. I doubled up on some of them. I bought a tea plant, so I'm very interested to see what kind of plant I get with this. It's supposed to be for green tea. We've got rosemary, evening primrose, along with something else I put in there. Echinacea, I think that's how you say it. We've got lavender and lemon balm. Alright, so we're going to just go ahead and set this out, and we'll add more to it later. Oh, forgot to say, I also wrote on the outside, and I used painter's tape, so hopefully this is good. But I also put a little sticker inside to remind me what's inside as well. Alright, bye for now. And it looks like I finished right on time. I did this yesterday. And look at the garden today. I suppose the rest of winter sowing will have to wait. Hey, Captain, it might be time to ride.